Wayne Dyer, a master of manifestation, a man who earned millions of dollars by sharing the very principles he truly lived. But here's something intriguing. Amid the flood of talks, books, and thunderous speeches, there exists a very particular technique Wayne rarely spoke about. It's not something you'd find in a widely spoke book. It was a secret he let slip in a little-known 2013 interview. When I stumbled on it, all the pieces suddenly clicked into place. We often think that to affirm our beliefs, we need to stand in front of a mirror and speak loudly, shout even, as if higher volume makes the universe hear us more clearly. We repeat and repeat, hoping to convince ourselves, trying to prove to our own minds, I can, I'm worthy, I will. But Wayne saw something deeper. The universe does not operate on vocal volume. It doesn't care how loudly you shout or how many times you recite an affirmation. The universe responds to something far subtler, something that touches the subconscious, slips past the noisy surface layer of willpower, and reaches the deepest strata of your being. That is the power of the whisper, an act that seems tiny, yet carries an ancient energy, quietly practiced by sages, spiritual masters, and even many of the most successful billionaires. You might ask, why is whispering so important? Because a whisper is not a performance for the outside world. It is privacy. It's the moment you speak directly to the universe, no audience needed, no validation required. It's when you and the creative source meet in a potent stillness. And I promise you, if you stay with me until the end, you'll see why this can completely transform the way you manifest anything in your life. This isn't just a tip. It could be the key that unlocks a turning point in your finances, health, and happiness. Let's begin with Wayne Dyer's famous saying, "Whatever follows I am will come looking for you." Everyone knows that line. It's on coffee mugs and Instagram posts everywhere. But what most people don't know is that Wayne used these I am statements in a very specific way in his private practice. And it's not what you'd expect. He didn't stand in front of a mirror to pep himself up. He didn't shout affirmations at the sky. He was doing something far subtler, far more intimate, and according to both ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience, far more effective. So let's dive deeper into why whispering may be the most powerful manifestation tool you've never used. And more importantly, how to practice it in a way that creates real change. Wayne Dyer was utterly captivated by the power of two simple words, I am. He taught that these are among the most powerful words in any language because they define your identity. When you say, I am tired, you're not merely describing a current state, you're handing yourself an identity, a tired person. From there, your behavior, emotions, and decisions begin to orbit that identity for the rest of the day. When you say, I am broke, you're issuing a command to the subconscious, a directive that you are a person of lack, that this is the truth of who you are. And the subconscious, like a faithful assistant, will continue to reinforce that role and seek evidence to confirm it. But try reversing the game. If you start your morning with, I am abundant, what happens then? You're not pleading, not hoping. You're identifying yourself. When you say, I am peace, you're no longer searching for peace out there. You're choosing to be the source of it. That has immense power. Because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is the principle Wayne Dyer and so many sages have emphasized. Your life is like a massive mirror. It doesn't care what you wish for. It faithfully reflects what you believe yourself to be. And the two words I am are the pen you use to write on that mirror each day. If you're wondering why you keep looping through debt, scarcity, or anxiety, pause and examine how you speak to yourself. How many times a day do you affirm, I am tired, I am broke, I am unlucky? And then you're surprised your life keeps handing you those exact experiences. Changing your life doesn't start by changing the outer world. It begins with two letters. I am. From the moment you decide who you are, you've changed the rules of the game. And that, my friend, is the power you've always had. However, I must tell you that I see recurring mistakes most people make when they embark on the affirmation journey. They stand before the mirror and shout statements like, I'm wealthy, I'm powerful, I'm happy, hoping volume will drown out the doubt inside. But the opposite happens. The louder they shout, the more they're telling the subconscious, I'm not there yet. If you were truly wealthy, would you need to shout to convince yourself? If you were genuinely happy, would you have to repeat like someone desperately self-soothing? This is the paradox of affirmations. When you approach them from a position of lack, you only sow more lack. You say, I want to be rich. Your subconscious hears, I am not rich. You say, I want to be healthy. The subconscious records, I am weak. And then you wonder why. The more you affirm, the more life returns evidence to the contrary. Remember this, the universe doesn't respond to what you shout. It responds to the vibration you are. You cannot attract what you merely want. You can only attract what you have become. That's why instead of trying to outshout your doubt, you must return to stillness, to the feeling that's true in your heart. So why not shout, but whisper? Here's something few notice. Sometimes the real power isn't in how loud you speak, but in how quietly. When you whisper, your body responds curiously. Neuroscience notes that whispering can activate the vagus nerve, the direct pathway between brain and heart, bringing your system into a calm, balanced state. And in that moment, you're no longer reciting an affirmation, you're opening a special channel of communication between mind and subconscious. Imagine this, every time you shout, the rational mind jumps up to rebut you. That's not true, you're fooling yourself. But when you whisper, the rational mind relaxes. It stops patrolling and resisting. The subconscious, the storehouse of your deepest beliefs, opens its doors, ready to receive. That's when the affirmation truly enters, takes root, and begins to transform you. What's fascinating is that research from the Heart Math Institute points to a special state called heart-brain coherence, when heart rhythms and brain waves synchronize. In that state, your whole body is like an orchestra playing one score. And guess what? Whispered affirmations delivered with focused attention are among the most powerful ways to enter that state. This is no longer a game of positive self-talk. It's a subtle act with scientific grounding, spiritual depth, and the power to change your life. All right, this is where we turn concept into action, understanding into lived experience. Wayne Dyer never encouraged you to just read theory or sit around waiting for a miracle. He laid out a very clear practice framework, simple, brief, and if you truly do it, it can change the whole picture of your life. The question is, what do you do next? First step, define precisely what you want to experience. Not, I want more money or I want to be happier. Those are too vague, too general. The subconscious doesn't understand fuzzy concepts. Choose a specific I am statement. For example, I am financially free, at peace, or healthy and strong. That's not what you want, that's what you are becoming. Second step, find a private space, a moment that belongs to you, and silence. It could be early morning when everyone's asleep, late at night before bed, or even a few minutes in your car while waiting. The key? No eyes on you, no ears on you. This is a sacred dialogue between you and the universe. Third step, place a hand over your heart. Why? Because it creates a physical connection to your words. As you slowly whisper your I am, you're not only speaking with your mouth, you're speaking with your whole heart. And you must speak with feeling, no shouting, no theatrics, just sincerity and a real sense that this is already part of you. Final step, repeat it daily. This isn't a one-and-done trick, it's a subconscious reprogramming process. Wayne called it the combination of infinite patience and immediate results. It sounds contradictory, but it's true. When you are patient enough to practice daily without anxiety, you'll be surprised how quickly results appear. There's another detail Wayne Dyer emphasized, and I believe it's the final piece for a true shift. Combine the whisper with gratitude. It sounds simple, but its power is like adding a second gear to an already running engine. The thrust doubles, and everything runs more smoothly. Picture this, you place your hand over your heart and whisper, I am abundance. If you stop there, you've planted a good seed. But when you add two more words, thank you, I am abundance, thank you, you've watered the seed and brought it sunlight. You're no longer speaking as someone who's waiting, you're speaking as someone who has received and is living it now. And your subconscious, which doesn't distinguish real from imagined, immediately takes the command, this is a completed reality. Try feeling it right now. Close your eyes and whisper as if sharing a secret meant only for you and the universe. I am peace, thank you. I am healthy, thank you. I am abundant, thank you. Let gratitude spread, warming your chest, convincing every cell that it's happening in this very moment. It's no longer a wish for the future, it's a confirmation of the present. And you'll notice a wonder. When you give thanks first, the universe responds faster. It's like a server who receives a sincere thank you even before the dish arrives. They'll want to serve you better and quicker. The universe is the same. Gratitude is your 5-star signal that you're satisfied and ready for more. Now, I want to invite you to a 21-day challenge to reprogram yourself. Remember, this isn't armchair theory. This is a practical path Wayne Dyer used, and thousands have proven effective. Each morning, as soon as you wake up, don't grab your phone or think about work. Place one hand over your heart and whisper your chosen I am statements for 3 to 5 minutes. It could be, I am abundant, I am peace, or I am worthy. The words matter less than the feeling you pour into them. The feeling must be real, as if you're living it right now. Then at night, before you drift to sleep, repeat the ritual. This is a golden time, because the subconscious has its doors wide open. Don't fall asleep in worry or lack. Let your mind enter sleep carrying your new identity, a whole, abundant, peaceful self. You're not merely saying a new truth, you're planting it in the most fertile soil of your mind. I want you to add one more thing. Keep a small journal nearby. Each day, record changes, no matter how small. It could be an unexpected opportunity, a compliment from someone, a wave of relief, or a relationship that suddenly feels warmer. These are the early signs that your inner world has shifted. And once the inner shifts, the outer is just a matter of time. My friend, if there is one truth Wayne Dyer left us, it's this. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. What does that mean? Your life doesn't reflect your cravings. It precisely reflects who you are living, thinking, and feeling yourself to be. This is a powerful reminder. To change the outer world, don't start with your wallet, your job, or luck. Start within. And the whispering tool Wayne shared, simple as it sounds, is the bridge to a new life. Because whispering is discreet, unshowy, but it goes straight into the subconscious, the very place that determines your destiny. You're no longer begging or hoping. You're reshaping your identity. When you softly whisper, I am abundance, you're not just speaking, you're becoming wealth. When you softly whisper, I am peace, you're not merely wanting peace, you're living in it. And the miracle is this. Once you truly become, there's nothing to chase, nothing to strain for. Everything naturally finds its way to you. I believe the power of the whisper lies in its honesty. You don't need to prove anything to the world, only to persuade yourself. In a whisper, you step off the stage of the ego and return to inner stillness, where the subconscious receives most powerfully. To me, it's not just a manifestation technique, it's a lesson in humility. True success isn't loud, it begins in silence. Our sharing ends here. Everything expressed is a personal opinion. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, thoughts, or feelings about this video, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I would love your feedback and questions so we can discuss and improve together. And don't forget to like and subscribe to help spread these useful insights.